In the package, you'll find 2 pieces of sticky back Velcro loop, a sheet of wedge modules, and a packet of hook modules. In here, you will find 1 corresponding double-sided hook piece for each shape on the wedge kit. Do a quick inventory, lay them out, double check that you've got all of them, like so. And I know sitting here, this looks like a lot, but it's actually really easy, and we'll walk you through it. Before you get started, what I would really recommend doing is hitting up the PHLster website, going over to Educational Resources and the Basics of Concealment Mechanics. From there, you'll find our Concealment Mechanics video series. You're going to want to familiarize yourself with the videos on finding your sweet spot, the poke and check method, and the basics of wedge use. Once you've reviewed those, the rest of this is going to be super duper easy. To start using the kit, you're going to want to trim out the modules that you want to start using. All you need to do is trim the tabs. That's it. You trim the tabs and they come right out. You do not need to cut any closer than that. The foam inside is encapsulated in plastic, and if you cut all the way to the edge, you're going to open the capsule up. So you really only need to trim a little bit. Sure, you can do things like manicure sharp corners if you cut a sharp corner, but you shouldn't take too much out of it. And honestly, this material is nice and soft, and it's not going to be any kind of issue for you. So trim it down. I wouldn't go past the margin that's already stamped in there. And then you've got your parts. Some parts are bigger than others and are different shapes, and we're going to do a little bit of show and tell on what you can do with that. So I'm going to cut out a few different pieces and give you a little demonstration on a couple ideas for how to get started to achieve different results on different gear items. So I've already applied this Velcro to a couple items to save us some time, and so you don't have to watch me peel the backer off those Velcro bits. So I've trimmed and pre-applied some adhesive back loop to a couple common objects that you're going to want to put a wedge on. So I can demonstrate a couple quick examples of how all these things work together and what they're capable of. Let's start with something simple like a magazine pouch. This might be kind of long and it might be kind of top heavy, and when you're wearing it, it might tip out over the belt a little bit. Maybe you want to get the edge of this magazine to stop printing a little bit. So what you can do is we'll have these little guys. Put your hook on the loop, and your wedge piece is Velcroable on both sides. So it doesn't matter how you orient it. You can put it on just like that. It's nice and secure. And now when you put this on your body, it'll tip back into the body a little bit more, and you'll get the comfort of this pad on the end. Something like this ShivWorks El Nino push dagger, you might get a little bit of printing from this end as it pokes out through your shirt. So you could put one of these skinny guys on here to act like a fulcrum, at which point when you tighten down your belt, you'll get a little bit of grip rotation from this being a little more of a fulcrum. When we could just demonstrate that kind of on the table and we see it now has a little pivot point, which is nice and convenient. On something like a holster, you might want to start off with one of these bigger base pads. Put your hook on there, pop that on the holster, and now you get a little rotation and padding in a couple directions. Maybe you need a little bit more. Maybe you need to fill out some extra dimension. So you can take something like one of these guys, stack it right on top of there. So now when you put it on, you'll get a lot more tip back into the body. Maybe now this little corner here, because you've got all this rotation from the wing and the wedge, is poking you. So you can take one of these smaller pieces and stick it right on there. So now when the holster touches your body, you've got a little padding. And you can stack these up however you want. Maybe you need more grip rotation this way. You can put an extra fulcrum on here, and now you'll get even more turn that way. And maybe you're a smaller person and you don't need all this. Maybe you can't have that much bulk attached to your holster because it's going to print through your leggings or your other garments. And you just need a little bit of extra to get that grip rotated. So you can put one of these skinny wedges on your holster just for that extra little touch of rotation to increase the fulcrum at this point. And of course, since you've already watched the poke and check video and our wedge use video, you know where to put these and how to adjust them to fit your body and what effect it has on the gun depending on where you place it on the holster. And the other thing that's great about these is that if this was on your body, you can slide these right in behind each other and stick them on while you're wearing it and get instant feedback about what kind of changes you've made to your concealment and your comfort.